If the Bible and or erotic mysteries interest us, we are likely to want to know just what and who the Song of Solomon is supposed to be about. In my extended essay, Solomon's Tantric Song, which engages with the biblical mystery and sex and religion issues more widely, I feel I can claim to have gone further than most in offering explanations that are genuinely plausible and consistent historically and psychologically. The deliberately provocative title of this piece of what is often detective work doesn't mean I believe the song is about Tantra in its traditional Asian form. It does, however, mean that it is about Tantra in the broader, more general sense that I describe, and that there may actually be some connection of the verse with the southern India with which Israel is believed to have had some contact, and that the book does present a degree of sexual mysticism. Our long failure to see this latter point is a failure of theologians and secularists alike. It's also tied up with a certain confusion of the heart of Western sexual life, which religion has not addressed or to which it has even contributed. It was a natural development for me to turn to the subject of Solomon in the wake of having written about David and the Psalms in the course of The Great Circle, Asia, David, and God Consciousness. However, I did feel sure that something a bit new and different needed to be written about the much commented Song of Solomon when I learned that early in 2012 the Royal Shakespeare Company was staging an erotic performance of the song, a book of which its director assured the press needed nothing religious to explain it. Indeed, as he pointed out, God is never mentioned in the book. That claim is, however, much disputed. One needs rather to ask and explain in what unfamiliar ways and contexts might God be referred to and why. Are there ways, not out of harmony with Scripture, but in harmony with ignored Scripture, that might help us to read of God otherwise? With or without God, the song has always been hard to explain. Commentary on the text has traditionally been loaded, even overloaded to the point of absurdity, with mystical, transcendent interpretations, and then in more recent times with purely erotic ones. It has also collected a variety of rather strange, often Puritan-influenced reconstructions of the supposed true story behind the verse, narratives which may even rid us of Solomon altogether, unless, as the bad guy, a kind of biblical Don Juan, from whom a maiden most pure is trying to escape back to her true shepherd lover in the country. The mind boggles. After all, the book which starts in the royal bedchamber is all of a quite steamy erotic expression of something, especially if one is honest around the translation, which is by no means always the case. Had there been more faithful, explicit translation, it would have been clearer that the genitals, sexual fluids, and so on do get referred to. It was in fact one of a number of insights I was rather pleased with, that I could finally see how the Bible regards the penis, how it should be symbolized. The penis, potent, invisible, circumcised, sometimes semi-God identified, almost the law of a patriarchal era and society, yet by many dismissed with the snake of Eden. How is it really to be envisaged and symbolized mystically and otherwise? The song, I feel, finally gives us the answer, along with the answer to numbers of other things still relevant to the practice and understanding of sex to this day, not to say, on another level, the practice and understanding of worship. Among the perspectives on God, there is one key to a door I unlock, which I would not have been able to do without some help from the kind of astrology covered in my Testament of the Magi, but which illuminates, all in one go, recurring, repeated questions regarding God, mysticism, and the song's erotic nature. Be that as it may, Once one can grasp certain tantric principles at play, and also certain poetic ones, and I do bring my experience as a poet as much as anything else into the song as a text, something the scholars almost never do, the historical and any more biographical dimensions come together and they begin to make sense. And it becomes clearer, it is even possible that Solomon composed at least some of the work that against long-standing traditions scholarship has given to other names or just rendered hopelessly anonymous. And I think too, it's even possible to know who was the Solomoness the collection was written for and why. Within its 180 pages, Solomon's Tantric Song, it's available from Amazon, is a genuine rereading, a whole reconsideration of the Song of Solomon, which brings much to light and has something for almost everyone. Even if you're not a poet, not a historian, not a heterosexual, not a scholar, and you name it, Solomon's Song is the elusive mystery that with a few key ideas grasped, always was for everyone to make their own.